prosper in the kingdom. We are live. It's Tuesday. We got a little bit of a late start today, but no big deal. We're still bringing you awesome information. So it's myself, Jon C, with the ever awesome Wendy Lee. How are you doing today, Wendy?
Doing great. Happy to be here. Happy Tuesday.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, yeah, I can't believe we're in February, and it's crazy. So all the big plans for 2025, if you got a little bit of a late start, guess what? 1 month's already gone. So that's okay. That's okay. We're actually going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about the 5 things that you can do for your small business to level up in 2025. So sit back, relax, grab a pen and paper. Unless you're driving, just listen, and you can go back on our podcast and replay that when you can take some notes. But we're going to talk about the 5 things that can be game changers for you and your small business in 2025. So you want to kick us off, Wendy, or you want me to jump in?
Sure, I'll kick us off.
Let's go.
So actually, like this first thing we're going to talk about is one of my favorites.
Mine too.
It's the one I was most fearful of to start in my business. And then I learned more and I'm like, you know what? Y'all remember when social media was like a new thing and, you know, it took a while for people to embrace it. And now it's just part of our everyday lives. Well, now we have artificial intelligence, AI. So embracing AI is a kind of a non-negotiable, honestly, for your business at this point. If you want to grow
part of it.
Yeah. If you want to keep up with what's going on, it's not just for big corporations. I mean, it's especially for the small business owners, and it's helping small business owners be able to play at a higher level, in my opinion, because it's kind of like you have a built-in editor and assistant. So
built-in team. It's not just an edit. I mean, it's amazing what you can do with even something as simple as ChatGPT.
Yeah. There's so many artificial intelligence programs out there, you know, things to like for us, for this video, right? Afterwards, a program that can break it down and create it into shorter videos, reels and things like that. You know, being able to take a transcript from our video. Remember, like back in the day, people had to hire someone to do show notes for their podcast. And now it can just be done automatically. And
I'm not even here right now. This is a digital image based on, no, I'm kidding. It's not that good yet. Close.
Yeah,
anyway.
It's close. You did your voice yesterday, right? You had it replicate your voice yesterday.
I started to, and then there's still some work to be done on that. But no, I'm amazed at the growth that has happened with AI and the evolution of AI. You know, as far as just since it first came out with the first version, in the last, you know, I think I started using it less than a year ago, and it's crazy. And I believe it's a game changer for small businesses because it literally levels the playing field for small businesses to compete with, you know, larger audiences, things like that, and enables your salespeople to have better follow-up. Scripting in sales, it helps with that. It helps with responses. It can come up with business plans. It can come up with social media plans for your small business. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do if you just interact with it. And I think so many people are going to not adopt it, you know, and I'm not saying boomers or anything like that, but it's one of those things that people are intimidated by it. I was intimidated by it. You know, I have flashbacks to my youth and as Gen X of the Terminator, right? The T-1000 coming after me, or maybe it was the T-3000. I don't know. But all kidding aside, you know, I was a little like, oh man.
Yeah.
But like it or not, it's
here to stay.
And it's not going anywhere. So you've got to be an early adopter. Or, you know, at this point, just to, you know, again, stay competitive and things like that. But I think once people get into it, it's amazing what it can do for you. It can give you like analysis on your sales, analysis, you know, your marketing strategy and things like analysis. Now it can analyze your marketing strategy and things like that. But take a lot of that manual workload and really just turn it into like nothing. I mean, it's amazing what it can do. So
I used it 2 days ago, and it's something that I just implemented on 4 little power calls I just did with some of my teammates. I used it the other day. I said, I want to create an activity tracker, and here's the behavior I want to create, right? And motivate people. so how should I create this? Like, that's literally right. Like, and I uploaded a PDF that we had of like your income producing activities. It analyzed the PDF and told me step by step how to go into Google Sheets and create this tracker. And I just presented it to 4 people and they were like, Wendy, this is a game changer. Like, this is
It's
like
crazy.
everything.
It's crazy. No, I mean, it can create marketing pieces. We've got a marketing project we're working on for a new market that we're going into, and I know little about it. So I asked it to kind of break it down and simplify it for me. It did that. And I said, okay, what's important to them? It broke it down. I said, okay, the product we have and their importance, what they're seeking, how do they line up? And let's create a marketing piece for that. Literally within 2 minutes, it had it done.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was just blown away, which, my daughter's in graphic design and marketing and things like that. And I keep pushing her, you need to get involved in AI, and her school's teaching very little about it. So if you've got a student, a college student that's in marketing or graphic design or something like that, make sure you're plugging them into some side classes for AI, because it's here.
Yes.
But obviously, we spent a lot of time talking about that. We've got 5 things. So that's the first one. That's like a no-brainer, game changer. You'll be blown away once you get comfortable with it. But number 2 is really stretching out there and leveraging e-commerce, especially for brick and mortars in those traditional stores. I was surprised the other day. I think somebody told me, I'm a big thrifter. I know you are too. That Goodwill's got an online version of their stuff as well. They're posting their stuff out there, doing e-commerce and drop shipping and things from different stores. Everybody needs to be doing that.
Yeah.
It's going to expand your market. I know for the financial business, when we shifted from pre-COVID, we had 9 physical brick and mortar locations. We were humming along and doing well, but we were kind of captive in those local markets that we had that physical presence. Once that shifted and everybody switched to online and Zoom and everything like that, all of a sudden we're helping people from coast to coast, and it really expanded our footprint. And as those leases expired on those locations, we kind of, okay, we're going to go ahead and let them go away. But those brick and mortar locations, some places, obviously you need stuff like pool repair and things. I'm just kind of thinking off the top of my head, but you can expand your market by getting into e-commerce, online marketplace with Amazon, Etsy, Shopify, those kind of things. Can your product be shifted or added to the e-commerce world?
Yeah, we've had conversations. We've been to a few places that we're like, how do these people stay in business? Because there's not much traffic.
I know, right?
And you made the comment, they probably sell online. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, that's how they can keep their brick and mortar. Because, some of these places you go to and you're like, you might have 3 customers a day, but if they're also leveraging the online space, then it doesn't matter, right? They can grow their business anywhere. And, people want that ease of shopping experience too. So like Shopify is a great platform for people just to, as far as physical products, to have a place where it's a seamless shopping experience with great feedback. And then digital products, like, don't think if you don't have something to sell, like a physical product that you can sell online as a small business, don't think that you can't still leverage e-commerce, because you can create digital products. What is it? What is your expertise? What do you do? And how can you create digital products that people can buy? E-commerce is awesome.
No, it's a huge game changer too. So, a lot of people have already shifted to that. Like you said, going into some stores going, how are they keeping their doors open? Well, that's how, right? So the third thing is, and this is kind of key to my heart, right, is financial planning, right? You may have a financial plan for your personal life, but do you have a financial plan for your business? Are you using business consultants and things like that to, cash flow is king, right? Cash flow is king. I've seen excellent businesses go out of business because they were jacked up in their cash flow. And that's really something that, it doesn't have to be that way, and you don't have to try to do it alone. I mean, stay in your lane, you know what you're doing, talking about your product or your business, but what about the planning aspect of it, And a lot of the things are similar on the business side as it is on the personal side, right? Having an emergency fund, right? You need to make sure that as your cash flow, maybe you have seasons or whatever, as it ebbs and flows, you've got enough business to, number one, take care of yourself and the employees on income, have your, inventory and things like that paid for, making sure you're keeping your credit score for your business up. But that's going to lead to funding and things like that. But that's one of the key things, is really sitting down with a planner who specializes in businesses. And obviously, we work with a lot of business owners, whether it's small businesses or niche businesses like real estate and network marketing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of planners that know that. So go ahead.
Yeah, the 1099 world, I mean, that's near and dear to my heart, because that's what I've been doing for the last 10 years, 12 years. But, a couple of key things, knowing your numbers. I'm amazed at how many people have a small business or self-employed and they don't know their numbers. Like, how much did you do in sales last month? I don't know. What were expenses last month? I don't know. Right. And so it's easy when it's a side hustle, right, to just kind of like go with the flow. But then if that's not setting you up for big success, right? When you know your numbers, you can set yourself up for growth. And then you're not blindsided by the growth, right? But that financial planning for the business, I think, is huge, because, considering taxes, and figuring out too, like having somebody help you figure out what can your business pay for, right? What are those tax strategies that you can implement? Like, how can you leverage your business to help you with taxes? There's so many caveats and different ways to do things with your financial side of your business that most people just miss out on because they're focused on, I want to grow, right?
Yeah.
But
and that's the fall, or the failure, I guess, of middle America. We know how to make money, and that's what we think: make more, make more, make more. But we're missing out on so much because we don't have the proper plan in place. Just like you were talking about with taxes, even with spending. How can I allocate expenses to the business as opposed to pulling it in as income and then paying taxes on that and then spending it, for the business? Another situation, and I know we've talked about this in the past, but where you have small business owners will treat it like a small business, especially in that 1099 world, and they'll commingle funds and things like that. They run it like a little side thing, and then they wonder why they're only making side thing money and why they get financial problems with taxes or things like that down the road, because they don't plan. They just, I made some money, I'm going to spend it, right? Well, did you spend it on a business expense, personal expense? Wait a minute, what's going on here? And you end up getting a lot of trouble with that, and then you're setting yourself up for failure, when just a financial planning conversation sets you up for that next level success, right?
Absolutely. Yep. Good stuff. Yeah. So one of the next things is, and I'm working on getting better at this. I was actually just listening to some training this morning about this, but focusing on your customer or your client experience, right?
Yes.
People buy based on their experience, not just a price, right? So how is it that you're standing out in your business to service your clients and customers, right? Do you have a customer loyalty program? Are they buying from you? Is it a situation where they can buy from you over and over? And I love, my friend Bob Heilig said this years ago, and it stuck with me. A client is not closed until they're loyal. And that's just always been something that's been, stuck in my heart. I'm like, okay, they're not closed until they're loyal. A lot of times you think, oh, I got the sale. Cool, done, winning, right? But there's
a lot of people out there that's once they're done, it's like, peace.
Yeah. And, Grant Cardone, right, was teaching us that the easiest people to sell to are the people that have already bought from you. Yes. Right. So if you can give people that great customer experience, that's going to help you grow in your business. Yeah. And then also, you're great at this, Jon, is asking for reviews and testimonials. Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's key. They're excited. They made a purchase from you. They're excited about it. They want to reinforce it subconsciously. And so that's a perfect time to ask for a reinforcement. And not only that, it makes the next new client that much easier to bring, because that's one of the things, where do you go? Oh, let me pull them up on Google if I don't know about them, right? And it's critical that you have those that feedback in order to help your company grow. And it just makes it easier and easier and easier. But you've got to have a plan in place. How are you asking for the referrals? How, are you giving them the link or whatever the case may be? I know we're in the process right now of adding AI automation to a lot of our processes, right? And that's something that, number one, it keeps your client in touch, right? What's going on, making sure they're, plugged into us on Instagram, things like that. And, using the tools, because it's not just one and done. And that's why we do these videos, for one, because our existing client base on the financial side and on the business consulting side, those clients too come back and they can keep learning from us, and we're still in front of them, even though, they maybe listen to us on a podcast or a YouTube replay or something like that. But again, it's just adding more value to working with, Jon and Wendy and the Miliari group, and, Prosper in the Kingdom, and all of the groups that we work with. And that's how you stay in front of them. And again, like you said, it's so much easier to add additional value to an existing client and have them, purchase more as their life changes or they need more, whatever, than it is to go out and sell a new client.
Yeah.
But you want to kind of focus on both of it. And again, just keeping it personal. Don't keep it all like, stuffy and things like that. It's, hey, we're all just people here trying to make it through, right? Let me see how I can help you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I love that. But I was going to jump into the last one. The last one is really one of my favorite ones. And, I love the AI and I love the financial planning bit, but again, it's one of those things that, and I've seen it work, and I've seen it just where you shake your head and go, what are you doing? When you're talking to somebody, a small business owner or whatever, but really collaborating with other businesses through affiliate programs or affiliate marketing programs or things like that. But there's a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it. But if you do it right, it's a huge opportunity to add multiple streams of income to your business without doing any extra work or minimal work. And so you can increase your income to your company 10, 20, 30% just because you're providing great service to your clients and things like that. I mean, stop trying to do it all alone and be that solopreneur, and having that scarcity mindset. Have a team of people that you work with. So, identify those businesses out there that complement what you're already doing. And that's where I've seen it go right.
Yeah.
Where, you're okay. Well, hey, for example, the financial side, right? Well, when we talk about financial planning for business owners, for small business owners, medium business owners, for families, things like that, there are other things that we touch during that conversation. We talk about estate planning. Well, we've got an affiliate relationship with an attorney network, right? So our clients can go there, get the great help at a discounted rate by professional attorneys, right? Same thing with,
Student
debt
loans.
restructuring, student loan forgiveness, right? There are student loan forgiveness programs at federal. If you've got federal student loans, there are ways, and we've saved our clients millions, right? And I know some of you are getting triggered right now. Well, if they borrowed the money, they should pay the money. I'm sorry. Go look at what Doge is doing and all the money that's been sent to all these other countries on these stupid programs. I would much rather that money go to our students to help them get a higher education. So, there's all kinds of things. And obviously, those are things that we all touch. And not only that, because we make the introductions, because you can make the introductions for your clients, it makes working with you that much more valuable.
Yeah. Well, and, like thinking about the financial side of what we do, it becomes a one-stop shop, your connector to all these amazing opportunities that are going to help the client, right? And so setting up cross promotions, right? Even joint webinars with other companies. I know when I started in network marketing, one of the most powerful things I did is I built relationships with some of the top network marketing trainers, and I brought them onto my social media and did a joint live with them. So then people saw me and going, oh, wow, she's talking to that person. She's talking to that person, and bringing them in to add value. And then my audience, who maybe didn't know them, falls in love with them. So because we weren't competing with each other, we complemented. So, and, referrals, I mean, let's face it, we buy some off of social media ads, but we buy a lot off of referrals. When, you're looking for a new CPA, what do? You pop online and you're like in a Facebook group. Who do you use as a CPA? So building a strong referral network is going to help, your customers and your partners. They become your sales force. And
and I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, it's one of the things, but again, you've got to find right things. Like, For example, prosper in the kingdom. We wanted to expand what we were talking about and direct our message, towards Christians and people that, are seeking Christians. But looking at it, okay, what is it? What are we talking about? Well, those abundant blessings. So we have the tagline, which is trademarked, helping you become healthy, wealthy, and wise, right? Bringing biblical wisdom. That's the wisdom part. Healthy, wise, health. Why are you talking finances and health? Because they tie together. The last thing you want to do is kill yourself, kill your body, trying to make money and having, the love of money rather than what the money can do for the kingdom. Right. And so it all ties together. And so we've partnered with, a firm that has health supplements. If you want to learn about that, we can plug you into that as well. But we've been using them now for 4 months, and I'm blown away by the productivity level of my business that's happened. Right. The biblical wisdom. It's a great book. Read it, right? There's so much information in there that apply to business, to life, to everything else. So it's like, yeah, let's talk about it. I got my start in finance with Crown Financial Ministries back in the day doing volunteer for work for them. And I'm like, man, how awesome is this that it all ties together? And obviously the financial piece, it's not the love of money. It's what the money can do for you, using it just like you do a tool out of the shed to, build your garden. But, we want to put more money in the hands of Christians so they can go out and do the work of the kingdom. And so that's why it all ties together. Now, when it doesn't work, when it doesn't tie together, it's kind of funky. And I'm going to use that word funky because I've seen it where, and you may have too, if you go to networking meetings, you're there and somebody pulls out 4 different cards that they're all plugged into. Well, yeah, we do plumbing. We also do AC repair. And then we also do insurance, and then we also do real estate. Here are one of my cards. Which one? And it's like, well, okay, so jack of all trades, master of none is the message I'm hearing, right? Because they don't tie together, and it confuses your clients, and they end up going elsewhere. I don't know if you can relate to that, but I've seen it, especially with small business owners, entrepreneurs. I know you're hungry, and that's great. But just because you got a buddy that's a plumber doesn't mean you should also be selling plumbing services.
I'm like it kind of cracks me up when I go to networking events a lot, and almost everybody is like, here's my main thing and here's my other thing, and I'm like, what if you can just, and I've been guilty of that too before when I wasn't sure, when I first started doing my networking and I was trying to grow my corporate job and also trying to grow, my side hustle, which very quickly then my side hustle became my main hustle. So that went away. But I've been there too, where it's like, which one am I promoting? But creating, when you have things that synergistically work together, then you can
That's the key.
Yeah. Then here's the brand, here's, what I represent, and here's the different ways you can plug in. So just making it simple. It's hard to make things simple.
Well, and it's key. And again, build your brand to include all these side hustles, but don't market them individually. Make sure that they, number one, tie together. And number two, that you're marketing them as a single solution. But we have all these different things that we can bring to the table. So, all right, everybody, just to recap the 5 things you can do in 2025. We're already a month into it. So let's take some action, right? Number 1, embracing that artificial intelligence, right? Number 2, leveraging e-commerce. Number 3, implementing a financial strategy, not only for you personally, but for you and your business, right? Start pulling that equity out of the business day one, and we can show you how to do that, right? Number 4, focus on that customer experience. Why are you different? And it should be all about the customer experience and the value that you add to your customers' lives. So, and then number 5 is collaboration with other businesses, right? And coming up with those collaborative relationships through affiliate marketing or whatever the case may be. So, again, just a little bit of a challenge to close with everybody. Number 1, evaluate what you're currently doing, right? Are you on key? Are you on task? Are you kind of drifting around hoping it all works out? Number 2, set 3 clear goals for the year, right? 3 clear goals that you want to level up your business. What areas and how are you going to do it, right? And then, again, if you need some additional coaching, we're here to help you, right? We've got a new website, Prosper in the Kingdom, that's launching here in a couple of weeks. We've got, this is, I think, on our YouTube channel, 176 different videos. We've got our podcast on, I think it's on Amazon and
Spotify, iTunes, or podcast, whatever it is.
We're out there, and there's
Podcast.
nothing in there that's going to hurt you. It's all going to help you and start, leveling up your game on thinking bigger and better. You've got greatness within you. All right. The Father above, God, wants you to win and win big. Okay. This is not prosperity stuff, right? There's a time and a place for everything, but take the lessons and take action. If you need some help, even if it's just, a battle buddy or something, find somebody and, log in, like, and subscribe what we're doing. And we're here to help you change your life for you and your family. So everybody, we're going to jump. Have a great week. Have a great 2025. February is here. So let's go after it. And we'll talk to you next week on another Prosper in the Kingdom.
Bye-bye.